How's it going, everybody? It has been a while since my last video. I've just been super busy with work, and now especially as we get even further into storm season, storm chasing. So hopefully I'll be able to maybe do a backlog of videos and stuff like that so I can continue to post or something like that. But hopefully I'll be able to get back to posting regularly here soon. But today I want to show you a new portable logging application for ham radio called PoLo. Today on KF5 AM Radio. This is the Ham2K Portable Logger, also known as PoLo for short. So this is a new ham radio logging application for your mobile device developed by Sebastián Delmont, Kilo India to Delta. So this application is still considered to be in its beta development stages at this point, and as of the filming of this video, it is currently available on the Google Play Store. And I actually exchanged a few emails with Sebastian before I made this video, and he told me that both the Android and iOS versions of this application are both available through the beta testing links, which can be found on their Discord channel. I'll put the link in the description below. And he also said to expect that those beta versions will be updated faster than the versions that are released through the app stores. Also, one more thing that Sebastian had mentioned as well is that the iPad version of the application can actually be downloaded on macOS computers using the newer Apple Silicon processors. So basically, if you have a macOS computer using the Apple Silicon processor, you can use this application on your computer. And he also did mention as well that he plans to build a Windows version of this application as well as soon as he can. He also mentioned that he is planning to call this version of the application a beta for a while, as you should expect some things to be a bit unstable, but not so much in terms of crashing, more so from things just moving around and from other features being currently developed. Sebastian also mentioned that the base versions of this application will always be free, and the app is actually open source as well. He also mentioned that he plans to be adding a supporters club in the future where users of the application can contribute money to help encourage further developments of the application. And he also mentioned that he does plan to add some premium features in the future as well, like cloud backups and things like that, but the core features of the application will always be free. So let's go ahead and take a look at PoLo, and I'll show you guys how it works. So when you boot up PoLo, you will get this loading screen, and it will open the main menu, which is this screen. It just shows you all of your latest logbooks. But before you start logging, you can click the settings icon in the top right corner, and it will take you to the settings menu. So we're going to jump in here. You're going to enter your call sign. I've gone ahead and entered mine already and hit OK. And then you can move down to the general settings section where you can choose what settings you want to enable. And you can choose things like the theme that you want to use. You can show the numbers row as well. I'll show you that right quick. It's just that orange little strip of numbers above the keyboard. This is especially quick for entering call signs and signal reports without having to toggle between the letters and the numbers and symbols keyboard like on some other apps. You can also choose between using metric units and imperial units as well. You can also allow the app to keep your device awake and keep the screen from locking while you're logging during an operation. And you also have the option to use compact file names in the format of your call sign, the park number that you're at, and the date of operation. And after you're done in the general sections area, you can now jump down to the logging sections area of the app and customize the logging settings. So for country flags, you have the option to show country flags for DX contacts for all contacts, or the option to not show any country flags at all. So for me personally, I chose for all contacts. Click OK. And you also have the option to display the state field in the main exchange, the option to toggle the order of the signal report display so you can either show the received or sent signal first. You can also enable jump to next field on RST entry, and you can also toggle on or off the different bands and modes as well. So from the logging settings section, we can now jump down into the data settings area, and you can see things like how the current offline data such as country files, the latest Ham2K hams of note data, which I personally haven't figured out what that is yet, and you can see all that kind of stuff. You can also see how current your POTA Park references and SOTA Summit references databases are, and you can refresh all this data and make sure that your database is always up to date. So all you have to do to refresh this data is click on the database that you want to refresh, click refresh, and it will download all that data for you. And as you can see, I've now downloaded the latest parks references, and I'll do the SOTA references as well. And now the SOTA references are up to date, and we'll do the country files as well. Hit refresh. And as you can see, all of my databases are now up to date. But I think actually one of the coolest features of this app is the ability to upload .adif files to PoLo. That way you can keep all of your POTA activations in one place, and you have another place to back up your logbooks, or another place to say import a WSJTX logbook as well. Maybe you did FT8 on a POTA activation and you want to upload that and then just start a new logbook. That's a super handy feature to have, to be able to upload the .adif files to PoLo. From there, you can move down to the app feature section and enable whatever activities you want to use PoLo to log, such as parks on the air, summits on the air, worldwide flora and fauna, or different field operations activities like field day, or even a custom activity. And then finally, you can also add your QRZ account information to look up Callsign information as well. So that's it for the settings menu, and now I'm going to show you how to get started logging in PoLo. So to get started logging in PoLo, you're going to go down to the new operation button in the bottom right hand corner and click it, and it's going to take you to the new operation window. First, you'll want to jump over to the operation tag and set your location, which is your grid square. And what's really cool about this app is as long as you allow it to use your location services, it will actually auto locate your grid square, which you can just click your current grid square locator, which is the location highlighted in blue, and then click OK. So now your grid square location is set. And then after that, you scroll down and select whatever activity you're doing. So for instance, let's say I'm doing a POTA activation at Cedar Hill State Park, which is just down the road from me. I'd click Add Activity, Parks on the Air. And again, if I have location services set to allow PoLo to use my location, I can select a park close by me. And then I would either click the plus icon to add Cedar Hill State Park, or I can search by the park name or the park reference number. For this case, I'm going to select the plus icon, and now I have selected Cedar Hill State Park as the park that I'm activating, and hit the back arrow button. And that is all you need to do to set up PoLo each time you log. Now, say you're activating 2 parks. I believe you would just go through the same process. You'd add another POTA activation and a park number and all that. And also say you're activating a park which happens to also be a SOTA reference as well. You would just go to the summits on the air and do the same process as well. So from there, you can now jump back over to the QSOs tab and get started logging. So at the top, you can see the app tells you the number of the park you're at, as well as the name. And it also tells you how many contacts you've made at the top of the QSOs tab as well. And moving down to the logging portion of the screen, as you can see, you have the call sign field, the signal report field, signal report sent field, and the state field. Above that, you have the contact time, which if you click, you can manually enter the time and date of the contact. Next to that, you have the band, frequency, and mode field, which if you click on that, you can select the band, frequency, and mode that you made the contact on. Now, if you enter the frequency, you don't even have to select the band. It automatically figures that out and sets it. And then you can set the mode that you made the contact on. Next to that, you have the P2P or park to park field, where you can enter their park number if it's a park to park contact. And next to that, you have the spotting option, which you can use to spot yourself. So to log a contact using PoLo, it's actually super simple. So for instance, let's say that I made a contact with my friend Dawson, KJ5FGM, during this POTA activation. So to log my contact with Dawson, I would just type in his call sign, KJ5FGM. And I would type in his signal report, say he gave me a 5.9, I gave him a 5.9. So another thing about PoLo is, say you have a 5.9 both ways, you don't actually even have to type 5.9 for either report. It automatically fills that out, and all you would have to do is hit the log contact button. Also, let's say that I made a contact with Dawson's wife Elizabeth during this POTA activation as well. I would put her call sign in, which is KJ5FFX. And say she gave me a 5.5, I'd put 5.5 in the received, and say I gave her a 5.7, I'd log 5.7 in the received, and then I would hit the log contact button and it adds it to my log. So let's say my friend Jeremy is on the other side of the park as well, doing a POTA activation on 40 meters FT8. And let's say I made a contact with him. So I'll go ahead and show you how to log in FT8 contact as well. So to log in FT8 contact, all I'll do is put his call sign in, K5TXY. Let's say he heard me at -5 and I heard him at -6, and he is also at the park, so I'm going to put in his park to park reference, which would be US 2996. And then hit submit. And now Jeremy's contact is in there as well. So one more thing that I did forget to do is actually change the band to 40 meters. So what I would do to change the band would be just put 7.704, click the contact, and go and click it, and then you can change it, and then you can hit the save icon, and that is how you go back and correct a change in PoLo. So also there is a POTA spots tab as well. You have the option to filter POTA spots by band, so you can scroll through all the bands, and you can also filter it by mode, so you can kind of scroll through all the modes. And another thing that PoLo does as well is you can select a contact to log. Say you were using the POTA spotting page, and you could scroll through, find somebody you want to work them, and then you can just click their contact. Let's say we made a contact with N5UYP on 40 meters, and he gave me a 5.9, and I gave him a 5.9. Again, you don't have to type in 5.9 because it's already on there, and then his park to park reference is already there, and then we would log his contact. And it really doesn't get much more simple than that. So after you started logging contacts, the app will show you the amount of contacts you've made in the time since you started your activation and the time since your last contact. You can also see the number of contacts, the time and date of the contacts, frequency the contact was made on, the call sign of the contact, the optional country flag I mentioned earlier if you enabled that, the state of the person, name of the person, and the signal report pretty easily on the screen as well. But it all shows up even better when you turn your device to landscape mode. So one more cool thing that this app does as well is you can see your logged contacts in a map format as well. So to see that, you scroll over to the map tag. So you can click on each marker and see the call sign, distance from you, signal report, mode, band, and contact time as well. So that is the PoLo app. So I've had PoLo downloaded on my phone now for about a month or so, and I've taken it out and used it on a few different POTA activations that I've done. I gotta say, so far, I really like this application. And as of the filming of this video, I have not really experienced many issues while using PoLo at all. And I think it definitely has some upsides compared to other portable logging applications out on the market right now. I also do hope to see a version of PoLo developed for macOS as well. Since he's doing a Windows version, it would be super nice to see a Mac version of the application as well for, you know, people like me that don't have an Apple Silicon processor and are just using the good old Intel processor still. So hopefully that's something that he can develop as soon as he gets time to do that as well. But great work, Sebastian, on the development of PoLo. I'm super excited to see where the continued development of the PoLo application leads to. This really is a super cool and efficient new portable logging app. And if you'd like to stay up to date with the latest release versions, features currently under development, or provide feedback to Sebastian, I'll be dropping a link to his Google Groups, his Discord server, and his website down in the description below. And also, I'd like to hear from you as well. What do you think of PoLo? Have you already been using it, or do you plan to start using it? Or if you're already using PoLo from TestFlight or the other beta links that are out there, what do you think of the application so far? Let me know down in the comments section below. So that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you have not already, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and make sure to hit that notification bell. That just helps out support the channel and helps this video reach more people, and also notifies you when I upload new videos. Until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching. 73.